Hello everyone and welcome to the F1 2016 live career mode being streamed right now on YouTube for the Singapore Grand Prix. Probably one of the most difficult races on the calendar for its endurance and the weather. As you can see, it is raining at the minute in Singapore in the Marina Bay Street Circuit for qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix, and the race will be later today, guys. It won't be straight after. As you can see from the description, there is no link. I'm a bit busy, but I will be streaming the race later tonight, potentially, if we have time. So I'm looking forward to that on there. But it is the Singapore Grand Prix, the qualifying session. And in the last episode, guys, it was the Italian Grand Prix. We pulled off a brilliant one-stop strategy, just got over the line, just about ahead of our rival Max Verstappen, who didn't do well in the race. He did some really bizarre tyre strategy, and it cost him. As you can see, we've pulled 17 points back in one race. And we are now technically leading the championship, but we're tied on points. But with us having more wins than Max, we will be classified as number one in the championship, with him in second. Carlos Sainz, who is actually now my rival now for the next few races, is in third on 68 points behind. So do not count him out just yet. He could have an absolute brilliant run at the last, like we did in Toro Rosso last season. We'll see how there. Vettel, a poor race from him last time out, was down in fourth with his teammate now in fifth, and closing that gap a little bit to 35 points. And the rest of the guys are on the screen there for you guys. In the constructors, I won't go into this a bit more, but basically we've won it with a 180-point lead. So I'm not going to go into that a bit more on there. In the development race, nothing really has happened apart from Manor improving their car. And hopefully in the next episode, guys, the race stream, I'll be asking you for the next viewer interaction vote, where you guys will pick the next upgrade we will focus on for the last time, actually, as we're going to cease R&D at the end of the next episode, as I feel we're pretty comfortable with the car, so I feel we'll be safe. So whatever we have in terms of resource points, we will go for whatever upgrade is available for us, and then we're going to end it completely. So I'll let you guys start thinking about which one you would like to see before we go into the track. Of course, we've got our agent Emma who wants to work with us, so let's see what she has to say.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
So we've got to qualify 4th or higher, which is nice. Qualify above our rival Carlos Sainz, and obviously beat our teammate Max Verstappen, of course, on there. So just want to quickly say, guys, thank you so much for supporting the last race, the race stream for Monza a few hours ago. Thank you so much for everyone who came up for that one. You absolutely smashed the like goal right at the end there. And we're going to go, guys, for a target of 50 likes for qualifying, as I always do for these qualifying ones. 50 likes for this one, and then obviously 100. I don't know why. Why is my dad mentioned in the chat? That's a bit weird. But regarding yesterday, just want to quickly say everything is all fine now, and we don't need to think about it. So all is good, and we're going to focus now on the career mode. Now it is time now for the Singapore Grand Prix. Can we get a pole position for the third time in a row at Singapore in 3 seasons? Can we get another pole? Let's find out. It's quali time. Let's do this, guys.
It's late in the evening here in Singapore and it's time for qualifying, so settle down and enjoy the action. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
So here we go, lads. It is qualifying time for the Singapore Grand Prix, and you can tell it is pouring it down with rain right now. So, but as you can see with the quali thing, it's going to stop raining in the next 10 minutes, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. So it's going to be dry at the end of Q1, which is quite nice. So I may tactically try and stay in for as long as possible before the track gets even drier, for us to maybe go on the cheeky tyres, maybe, but we'll see. Future tier Met Mod, I don't think so. I'm not as good as Ben, I'm going to be honest, on there. But you can see the track is drying up nicely for later on in the session, which is fantastic. But what's most important is what the weather's going to be for the race. We're about to find out it is dry, which is perfectly fine, and we will qualify on a dry setup, which I'm going to show you guys right now, which you can use for your own career modes, your single player Grand Prix, or single player, whatever you want to do, or your league racing, or whatever you do. So I'm going to quickly get up for you guys, and then we're going to get straight into this episode. On there, it's basically the same one as last season's, but I'm just gonna lower the wings down and improve the. I think it's, where is it? Where have I put it? Okay, lower the fuel down. We're gonna put on 6 kilos just in case of the weather, and we're gonna just bump up, bump down the differential back to 70%, as I like the 75-70. It's a bit of a, you know, bit of a default there for the transmission, so I use that for every single setup I run. 75-70, so it's up to you if you want to use it for your own wishes. So it is wet at the minute, as you can see. I'm not going to go out straight away. We're going to skip a little bit of the session because there's no point really. It's just going to be me blubbering on for like 10 minutes. So we're going to let this stroll out for a little bit. And what I might do is I'm going to go out with maybe 10 minutes to spare and just drive. As you can see, it stopped raining and I don't know where to go. What we're going to do is we're going to just confirm, obviously. We're going to drive out the pits, get a feel for what it is, the track, and see if it's going to be dry enough, and then we're going to go on to a set of some dry tyres potentially at the end of the session. So we're going to go out. The umbrellas are still out, of course, and it still looks a bit wet, but I'm not really fussed about that. No one's qualified. Only 9 people have set a time so far in Q1, so a lot of them are going to potentially wait to the end of the session, as I got a warning for crossing the pit exit line, so not encouraging signs already for us, but we're going to go into lean, of course. So we're just going to take it nice and easy. It is starting to dry up a little bit, but not quickly enough, so we'll see if it's going to be transitioning to dry conditions at the end of Q1. We'll wait and see. Still a bit of spray, but I don't think it's at the perfect time for the dries. Just take it nice and easy and just hope to get into Q2 for this time around, like we didn't do in Monza, where we had a bit of a shocker, if I'm honest, of a qualifying session, as you guys will know and love. That we pulled off a brilliant comeback from 21st on the grid to win the race on a one-stopper. Was pretty impressive from myself, I've got to say. But we're down in 11th place now, so 10 people have set a time, and that was just not a good line there. Just trying to find where the grip is at the minute, but I might only do 1 lap here and pit for dries and go back out again. But at the minute, I think it's the wet tyre territory right now, so I don't think it's the right time yet. But Singapore is a very tricky track to absolutely manage your pace, because it's so difficult to get your lines absolutely spot on consistently, and you will make mistakes, don't get me wrong. I've made mistakes around here, but the goal here is pretty simple: to secure another pole. It'll be a hat-trick of poles on this track, as we've got pole in the last 2 seasons of career mode. We've had a pole position here. So hopefully I can bring it free for free, which will be quite nice. But we're going to set a time now. Well, hopefully set a time without getting an invalidated lap, of course. But the track is starting to dry up quite quickly, actually, which is quite a surprise. So we're taking it nice and easy. 33.1 is the best time currently by Sebastian Vettel. The question is, will it be dry enough at the end of the session? And I need to get around quite quickly here, unless the 5-minute clock comes up, but no one is on the track at the minute, apart from 2 people I can see on the map, so it'll be interesting to see how it is. And we're 3 tenths down at the minute in the first sector to Sebastian Vettel, so gives me a bit of an indication that these tyres are not up to temperature just yet, which means that the dry line is starting to emerge a little bit, so I need to be thinking about that. There's a little lock up there, just locking both the tyres there, taking a little bit of curb. pretty much unsettles the car. Running a little bit wide into the wall, but we just get a scrape. Go into the hairpin just before we go over the bridge. So we're going to go back towards the Marina Grandstand. The DRS is now enabled, which gives me the indication it is dry tyre territory. So I'm going to box this lap actually, and we're going to go on to the dry tyres, because that has given me a clear indication that it is now time for dries. That DRS enabled sign, so good indication of where we need to be. There's a 2-minute lap time from Sebastian Vettel, so it is definitely now time for dry tyres. I know there's a little bit of spray off the racing line, but I think a lot of people will come out now on dries and do 1 lap, and then that's it. So we're going to come into the box. Even I'm starting to struggle now on these tyres as the track dries up. Nearly hitting the wall there, very close to hitting the wall. But it's fine, Lee Gross, you don't have to apologise. So we'll see how we get on this one. It's going to be quite interesting, the times, so I think Force India, is that Force India coming out on dries? That'll be quite interesting to see. But I am taking the safe option of pitting now and getting some dries on, because I think now it's... Oh, is that rain? Is that more rain? I think we may have rain in Q3, chaps. I have a feeling. Because that map does not look nice, from what I can see. So in the next 20 minutes it's going to be dry, and then... Look at that. Oh wait, it's gone. Okay, that's for qualifying. So what are people... what tyres is everyone on? Ultra softs, everyone's going out on super softs and ultra softs. So it is time to switch, and we're going to go straight out onto a set of the ultras here. We're going to just smash the lap time, get on there.
We shouldn't see any rain, but if a storm front does appear, then we'll let you know.
Had a phone call, chap. Sorry about that. Have I got enough time? I think I do have enough time to a lap. Oh, we do. Right, we need to go out straight away. Sorry about that. Phone call from my father about some taps. So everyone in the chat put tap hype right now. So sorry about that. I stink of WD-40 right now, but it was a tapped guys that he need to show me a tap in their bathroom. So apologies. We are going to get a lap in though, which is important. So you will get to see Q1, Q2 and Q3 was smashed this time. As I need to take out Ricciardo there, going out the pit lane, but sorry about that. Just warm the tyres up. I am running a bit more fuel, I think, than I expected, but oh well. But I am here, guys, so do not panic. We will be getting at least a lap in here. Possibly even 2 laps. There's a possibility if I have to do another one, so nice to all see. Nice of you guys seeing the tap hype in the chat, which is fantastic. But literally, when I was on the, I was FaceTiming my dad, and I was literally thinking, "Oh crap, I need to pause the game before we don't get a time in." But we got in the end, and Sainz is the fastest man in Q1 with a 42.4, I think that was. So the track's not evolved just yet to what we saw last season with the times. And we're only going to get 1 lap in here now, as I can just see. So we're just going to bump it up to Rich now. But we are going to get, I think, a wet Q3 here, possibly. Which will be quite exciting, actually, because I'm not good in the wet on Inters, but the AI are quite not as bad as well. So it should be quite an even playing field going into Q3 if it stays wet as well. So hopefully we can get this lap under our belt and hopefully get in quite comfortably into Q2. Just pushing the boundaries a little bit now. As I run really wide into the wall, didn't want to do that. That's going to cost me a chunk of time. Hopefully still be quicker. 2 attempts and we lose it wide out of that corner. We've got to take a bit of caution coming back onto the track. So we lost a little bit more time there, drifting through the slow section. Just the pressure's starting to build now for us. We could be knocked out again of Q1. And this is mainly due to my bad decision making of braking that late for the corners. Missing the curb this time, don't want to make the car unsettle, but we hit that one instead. Short shifting down. Short shifting up to second out of the hairpin. Let's see if we've lost a lot more time here. And we actually have lost quite a bit of time. So this is going to be interesting. We've got to absolutely smash the last sector if we're going to get into Q2. But we are catching the manner, so that's quite encouraging signs that we're catching up this quickly. All we've got to do is stay in 16th is the main goal here. I'm absolutely pushing this car to the limit. And are we going to get into Q2 as the manner pulls off? A little bit wide than I would have liked. Come across the line, and are we into Q2? The answer to that question is yes. 9th place with a very blistering last sector with a 44. We are safe. Just about, actually. I've actually lost time as well. Wow, okay, that's quite an interesting set of times there, I've got to say. Sainz got a 41.8, Button a 42.5, so Sainz 7 attempts quicker. Vettel on the super soft, Gutierrez and Romain Grosjean 4th and 5th for Haas, which is quite brilliant, I've got to say. Lord Ricciardo, we just pipped him actually, so that's fantastic. But Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Raikkonen, Massa, Kvyat and Max Verstappen all out of Q1. So that is massive for the championship, that is, if it stays as it is in the race. But Max Verstappen, the surprise, down in 22nd place, along with Kvyat and Raikkonen and Massa and Lewis Hamilton. That is a star-studded Q1 dropout, that is. That is insane to see that. So, and they all didn't set... Raikkonen, Massa, Kvyat, Verstappen never went back out, apparently. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So we're through to Q2, which is fantastic for us, but even bigger is our rival in the championship is out of Q1. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, look at this. Oh, did I just see a bit more, some more rain coming in? That is a massive shock. Poor idiots still on Inters. Yep, so this was the conditions at the minute. So 20 minutes. So we may get some, I think we may get some rain actually. I saw, yeah, we got drops of rain for the end of Q3, so that's going to be quite very interesting. Multi 3-1-33. Max Verstappen 322 is lapping his head off. So we're going to go out on a used set of the Ultra Soft tyre right now, and then hopefully pray we get into Q2 on a set of the Super Soft tyre is my goal. But seeing the pace of the AI, you never know. Around here on Ultimate, they are quite quick, so traffic's the only thing that's going to help me get into Q3 on set of Super Soft. So we'll wait and see. But we're just going to set a banker time here. But we absolutely smashed this final sector in Q1, I've got to say. Probably the best sector 3 time I've ever done around this track. Nailed every single corner. So let's see what we can get on this one. I'm going to go in lean for this one, not use DRS, as this is our banker lap. As you guys remember, if we are in the top 10, the fastest time, what tyre we set that tyre on? No, I've rephrased that. Make it a bit more English. The fastest time in the session on that tyre, so for example we set a fast time on this, and we are into Q3, then this is the tyre we start on. So I want to try and get on the Super Softs and just avoid the Ultras, because they're apparently not that great around here on the game. So I want to avoid using this tyre at all costs and just use the softs and the Super Softs in the race if I can. Bottas is the fastest. Lord Harrianto, lads, get your screenshots out right now. Lord Harrianto is the fastest man on the track right now. Get that screenshotted right now. And that, because that's just happened, Jenson Button has gone quickest of all. So Harrianto's moment of fame is over for now, as he's been pipped by Jenson Button, who gets the fastest time of the session in Q2 on probably a set of used Ultras, but I'm not sure as of yet. But just want to not set the fastest time on this tyre, but I'm just going to get a bit of a feel for the track. Now the track's not greasy, it's completely bone dry, that I can just get a feel for how much grip we're going to have on these Ultras for Q3. So it's a nice... Oh my god, I just needed a Nelson Piquet Jr. moment there in the wall. That was a bit scary. Would have been game over for us. Okay, that was a bit wide, I'm not going to lie, but just trying to find the limits of that corner. But we're going to come across the line. It's not going to be the fastest lap, obviously, but it is a banker lap. It's going to be a 1:46.1. So I'm not really bothered about that time. It was a banker, so Mummy, get the camera. Well, it is. It's a big moment, isn't it? Lord Harrianto, the fastest. A wet dream come true. Lord. On there. So, not the fastest time in the world, obviously, but I'm not really fussed. Right. Are we going to have enough time? Ooh, this is going to be quite interesting. Let's have a look at the times quickly before I go back out on track, actually, because I want to see if we're going to have enough time to do 2 stints here. What's the fastest time at the minute? Well, I've got to get a 1:44 is where we need to be aiming. 42s for Carlos Sainz, so Carlos is absolutely flying for Toro Rosso. Grosjean in 3rd, Kevin Magnussen in 4th as well. Some very strong times there by some people that you won't expect. Or Roman Grosjean, yep. So here we go then. This is maybe my last lap of Q2. So hopefully, or I may abandon the lap, I'm not sure, but we need to get in into Q3 on these tyres because it will put me in a massive advantage.
The radar, we should see light rain within 10 minutes time.
Oh great, rain's coming in 10 minutes. You know what that means, chaps. Wet qualifying once again. As we've got a banana holding me up, pushing me wide than I would have liked for the corner. It's going to hold me up, but we are going to gain some time back, obviously. It's a bit of oversteer, but I don't know who that banana was, but we're up by half a second, which is what I need right now. And we're only 300ths down on Carlos Sainz in the first sector, so very impressive actually from us there. But the AI are very strong in the middle sector on this track, so I'm not feeling confident going into this middle sector of Carlos Sainz going to be possibly going quicker than us, but we'll see, as the ultras are quite good in this part of the lap, which is where the grip is where you need it the most on this layout. But we have a little bit of a moment there as we go over the Anderson Bridge. Got to go up to second gear, and you can see we're already up by a second, which is quite encouraging. And as you can see, my point is correct, and so you can see Sainz is nearly 7/10 quicker than us in the middle sector, which is pretty respectable with us on a slower tyre than him. So as long as we're about a second behind him, I'll take it going into Q3, feeling very confident that we can maybe get a third consecutive pole position of this in this career mode series at Singapore. But we're about to find out. Look at the delta time. Taking it very cautiously through the final corner. We're going to come across the line. Is it going to be enough? It's 4th fastest, and half a second gain in the last sector there. Just showing us how quick we are in that last sector with our Red Bull package. But the middle sector is where we are losing all the time to Carlos Sainz there, and that is most certainly going to put us into Q3. Feeling pretty confident, but with that rain coming in, I don't know if we're going to get pole here. As you guys know, I'm not particularly good in the wet. We've never secured a pole position on Inters in a wet qualifying, so very interesting to see how we're going to get on with this, as we've got the banana of Jodian Palmer, so we're going to get out of his way. And we're actually going to retire from the session because I think we're safe. We're perfectly safe. And it is indeed 5th place, so we are through as we park the car very nicely there. And we are through. So who's out then in this one? Carlos Sainz, the fastest man, 41.7. Blimey, that's a very quick time that from Carlos Sainz. Vettel in 2nd place. Alonso and Button, we've got McLaren on the 2nd row. Me and Gutierrez, surprisingly, is into Q3 with Grosjean, so Haas looking pretty strong around this track. Rosberg in 7th, Jodian Palmer got through, Pascal Wehrlein got through as well. But the big drivers out of this one are Magnussen, Lord Harrianto, who was provisionally the fastest man on track, remember, earlier in the session. Marcus Ericsson, Perez, Nasser and Bottas all out. But most importantly, as you can see, we qualify on the super soft tyres for this one. So let's see if the rain hasn't arrived. Oh, it has arrived. Oh my god. We know what? We're driving straight out because Nick told me, not Nick, Reese told me to. So we're going straight out for qualifying. It is raining, but I don't think it's going to be that wet. But we're about to find out if it's going to be too wet for us. Hamilton's out, I think. Is that Hamilton or is that Rosberg's out, actually? So this is actually going to be a one-lap shootout right now. It is a one-lap shootout to determine who will get in the fastest time of qualifying. And the Haas, I've got to say, is the man who's actually got an advantage here over the whole field. As he's first man out, he gets a feel for what the track's going to be like. But this is going to be a very interesting final qualifying session for this rate, for qualifying. Try and get past, get past Rosberg quickly. Oh, it's one wide out of that corner, but everything's fine. We're about to hit 100 viewers as well on the stream, which will be amazing. Thank you guys for coming along. But with this rain coming down, it's all going to be down to who has the balls on this track, as the DRS is disabled. It is now intermediate territory, but I question if anyone is going to go out on Inters right now or stay on Ultras. So Nope. This is too wet. This is. I think it's too wet for dry tyres. I think Inter's maybe the best shout here. If I'm struggling already with that, then I think Inter's is the best call, because I'm starting to struggle massively right now. I'm not even feathering it, and I feel we're going to crash out here of Q3, so I'm going to pit for Inter's and go straight back out, because I feel it is too wet really. And you can see by my throttle inputs, I'm not even going for it. So I feel it's getting heavier and heavier this rain, so I just feel it's not the best. You can see I'm just struggling, and I'm going even faster than Rosberg is on the map with a little bit of wing damage, so I'm pitting for Inter's. I just feel it's not right now. It's too wet now. So doing a full lap has actually given me a bit of an indication of when to pit. The only dry bit is that part of the track. So I can't even... I know I've got damage, of course, but I feel we're going to have so much more grip on Inter's. So we're going to box this lap and just cruise around a few laps and just get a feel for the track as we go off the... actually out of the pit lane entry. It's just too wet. It's just too wet for us. So we're going to box this time, switch to Inter's, and just set some times on the board. It's just one person's come out the pit lane. I don't know who that was actually. I think it was another Haas. So we'll see how this pans out for us. I feel this is the right decision. The rain is getting heavier as the session continues. But regarding a lot of you asking if there's a race after this, there isn't, because I'm busy in a bit, so I can't do the race, unfortunately, straight away, but I will probably do it later tonight, in a few hours' time. Just to let you guys know on in the chat. So we're just going to get the tyres in the blankets, and we're going to switch. Oh, we've got a bit of damage, of course. I forgot about that. The light front wing damage.
Car repairs have set us back a little.
So we'll get the Inter's on straight away. Get a fresh set of Inter's, and we're going to head straight back out right now for what may be the only lap of the session right now. And I don't even know who's fastest of the session, so this is going to be quite interesting, seeing if we can get somewhere up the board and even get the fastest time. We're about to find out now, as we're going to be enabled in a minute with 3 seconds to go. So here we go. And Gutierrez is the fastest man on track, as I burped there, so not what I wanted, of course, but a Haas is the fastest car on the field right now. Hopefully that's going to change right now as we've got Inter's on. So here we go, our first lap. I think there's going to be one flying lap only for us, so we're just going to absolutely smash it now and see if we're going to get anywhere close to that time on the ultra softs. We go wide out of turn 1. It's getting even wetter, so we could even need to be going on wet tyres eventually. It's that bad. Come on, get on the power line, come on. Just brake a little bit early for the corners, try and hit the apexes if we can. So 36 is the time to beat. And we're already 3 seconds up on Gutierrez's time in the first sector. So hopefully, I'm praying the AI actually come back out on Inter's and get a time on the board, but we'll wait and see. But Gutierrez is on course for a shock pole position for the Mexican, and again we go wide and into the Rolex wall. But we get away with it this time around with no damage, which is fantastic news for us. So just going to take it easy now. Just trying to be cautious as we go along. Short shifting, up we go. Gutierrez, a 115 in the middle sector, are you serious? We are 3 seconds quicker than Gutierrez, and now we're 5 seconds off him in the... I don't get that. That's very bizarre. We only messed up one corner, so the first sector must have been absolutely wet. And then Gutierrez somehow amazingly pulls off a worldy lap. So I think I can safely say, chaps, we ain't getting pole. I can tell you that right now. This has got to be one of the most bizarre qualifying sessions I have ever seen in this career mode series. I'm so baffled right now. I'm just amazed how Gutierrez can smash that time. We're 10th at the minute. I don't know how they're doing this. We're going to have to continue on and just pray we can go quicker. And just pray we can get this lap under our belts because we're going quicker now. Oh, that's why, because it's heavy rain. So I think I can safely say I think the streak's over, but we're going up by 0.4 of a second, so the tyres are getting up to temperature. See, look, we're 3 seconds quicker than Gutierrez in the first sector, and then we just lose all the time in this middle sector. I'm just baffled, really. Scratching my head moment. There must have been so much grip in this part of the lap that... Oh, there you go, look at that, a second gain. I'm just praying we've got enough fuel here to make it to the end of this lap. I don't think we will, but I'm going to give it my best shot here. I think we're going to jug just before the final corner, but we'll wait and see, as we've got a nice 2-second buffer here. So we can improve, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to that. Look at that, 4 seconds in the middle sector. We lost 7 seconds in the middle sector. I don't know what to say, really. Apart from just pushing it. So we just missed the wall there. We got yellow flags out in the middle part of the lap there. But we're up by nearly 2 seconds, which is what I want. And we've got enough fuel, so you know what? Let's put it up to Rich for the last corner. And just see what we get with this time. It won't be the pole time, as I think Gutierrez is going to snatch it. And we have a spin. It's a 2-minute thing, and we go up to P7, so I can take that, I guess. As we have a broken front wing to end the session there, but we're going to end it there. So we're going to come home in 9th place. Okay, we're 9th on the grid, chaps, for this one, so we are on the Super Softs, remember.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top 3. Gutierrez, Rosberg, and Jenson Button. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
Well, this has been probably the most bizarre qualifying sessions I've ever seen, but Esteban Gutierrez is on pole. In wet conditions on ultra softs, he gets the fastest time. Maybe he's been watching my race with the subs, I wonder. Nico Rosberg, also on ultra softs, is second, but in the fastest of the intermediate tyre runners, with a 59 flat. Vettel was in 4th, Sainz P5, Alonso P6, Palmer 7th, Grosjean 8th, me in 9th, and Pascal Wehrlein complete the 10-man field, the top 10 for this race. And I'm just in shock, really, with that session. I just can't believe it. But in a way, we are on the Super Softs. It is the preferred strategy, so I'm not really fussed about that. But we can take it away from there. On there. But I'm going to end that stream, guys, in there. So let me know what you thought in the comments below, what you thought about this qualifying, that Q3. I'm just surprised and shocked. But we have got the race, guys. It will be later tonight. Hopefully it won't clash with any other streams going on, because I know you want to watch everyone at the same time. But in the rivalry, you can just see Carlos Sainz is beating me 7-2, which is definitely not what I wanted. And we didn't get that. But we did beat Max Verstappen, so we're back in the purple again. So we may get Emma again, which I'm not even going to bother looking at. But I'm going to end the episode there, guys. So thank you very much for everyone coming out for this one. I'll be back later tonight for hopefully the Singapore Grand Prix race. If not, it'll be definitely tomorrow on the channel. And make sure, guys, to like and subscribe if you're new around here for regular F1 content on the channel. But until then, guys, have a great afternoon, evening if you can't make it. But hopefully I'll see you guys later tonight for the race. Until then, let's see if a Mexican can get a win at Singapore. That would be nice to see for Haas as well. But until next time, guys, have a great evening if you can't make it. And I'll see you hopefully for the race. Until then, take care, guys, and see you soon. Bye.